Good morning. It's June 19th, and I'm in an entirely different area today. Um, I've walked a lot in the older neighborhoods, so I thought I'd come out here to one of the newest developments in Regina, which is Harbour Landing. As you can see, in the direction I'm pointing, pretty much right on the edge of town. And I started here because this business building here has the offices of the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan in it. And I wrote their history book a few years ago, 100 years, it's called A Safe and Prosperous Future, 100 Years of Geoscience, Geoscience and Engineering Achievements in Saskatchewan. I think that's the correct order of things. Longest title of anything I ever wrote. And of course, not of course, you would necessarily know this, but my wife, Margaret Ann Hodges, PEng, is a past president of the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan. So I do have a connection to the engineering community, and their building, this isn't their building, but their offices are in this building. And so we're out here at Harbour Landing. It's a lot of apartment buildings and residences, and we're going to take a walk around here today because I've never walked around out here. So I have no idea where I'm going. We will play it by ear. And hopefully they've built sidewalks, because that's not always the case in some developments like this. Some nice flowering bushes down on this end of the building. We will. There's definitely sidewalks. I'd like to go right up here to the edge, though, and start on that side if I can. I don't think there's a sidewalk up here, though, but I'll walk up there anyway. So this is the other side of the building. You can see that's the prairie. And this is a brand new hotel. I don't even know what brand it is. It just says hotel on this end, and I can't read those blue letters on this side. Oh, there is a sidewalk over there. So maybe we can walk up this side of things. We'll cross here at the stop sign. I don't know what that black building is over there. I don't know what any of these buildings are, actually. Definitely not my usual. Let's see, Harbour Landing Commercial Campus, it says. Not a clue. Oh, it goes out here further than I thought it did. Meridian. Oh no, I guess I've been... Yeah, okay, I know somebody that lives in the apartment buildings down at the end of this street. You can see that white ball over there. That's part of the airport. If you're out there on YouTube or Facebook, say hi. I may be able to see you. Meridian. Oh, that black building. Yeah, that's WBM. Western Business Machines. Way back when the internet was just becoming a thing, they were my internet service provider. And I think they hosted my first website too. The original edwardwillett.com. Although it probably didn't have my own domain name first time around. The trees are much younger out here. And none at all out that way, towards the airport and the prairie. You see over there is all housing. We'll get to that in a minute. Walk down this long bit of Parliament, I guess this is. It's the rather severely futuristic WBM over there. Hi, Roger. I figure everybody that sees this when I'm walking along here thinks I've got a radar gun. They think I'm some sort of undercover cop. But I'm not. long straight piece here, but there is a path to the left I'm going to take once we get to it here, instead of walking all the way down there. But we're going to zigzag, so we'll see where that takes us. Okay, so there's always parkland, and that's what we will cut into now to the left here, down behind these houses. It's really kind of amazing how quickly all this grew up. It wasn't here when I moved to Regina. It wasn't here even, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe it started? Something like that, I don't really remember. Why is it called Harbour Landing? Good question. There's no harbor. Those birds are unhappy with me. Must be close to something they don't want me close to. Landing, I guess, because the airport's right there, but harbor? Oh, he's just telling me off all the way along here. Kind of a nice little path. There's a lot of park space out here. And I might as well keep to it. Trees have a long way to go compared to my neighborhood, but my neighborhood's over 100 years old, so some of the houses, the oldest houses are. I think I'll stick to the path here, keep following the parkland. Tudor Park. Now there could be an aerial thing there. Tudor Park would be for Tudor jets. The one we just came through was called Canuck Park, of all things. Nice little gully with our culvert there. No water in it. Probably was after the big rain last Friday, but we might get some rain tonight, but at the moment it's quite warm and clear and sunny. Looks a little hazy to the west, so maybe there's a very thin layer up there. Oh, you can even come over here and admire the view of basically grass. It's very green grass though. Apartment buildings or condos over there. It's a very mixed development, so you've got single family dwellings and multi-family dwellings and businesses, stores. Especially down, if I keep walking this way and if my timing works, I'll eventually reach some big box stores. I smell flowers from somewhere. Yeah, the path does go on and on. Interesting. It's paved on that side and gravel on this side. We'll cross the bridge, get on the paved side. Very nice. Hello there. He's rather calm about it, isn't he? There's the view. in both directions, because I always do that on bridges. Those wild roses. Not exactly a flower guy, what do I know? Quite nice down in here. And there is water. I don't think that's a natural creek. I think it was probably created when this was created, but I don't know for sure. It could have been a creek flowing out here in the prairie. Very nice walk. I'm glad I came out here. Flowers everywhere. Flowering bushes. Again, I think those are maybe wild roses. So, what else have I done besides go for walks? Well, I've actually got another book just about ready to come hit the world. Star Song is a young adult novel. It was born as one of my first published short stories. It's in my collection, Paths to the Stars, called The Minstrel. It was the first thing I tried to turn into a novel. It came painfully close to being published in the 90s. Josephus Sherman was editor at Walker & Company at the time, and they were publishing young adult science fiction, and I sent it. She sent it back and said she liked it, but it had this gaping hole in the middle I needed to fill. So I wrote several more chapters, sent it back again. She said that was terrific, and she was ready to make an offer on it when the publisher died, and his son took over the company and immediately decreed that they were no longer publishing science fiction. So it wasn't published about 1994, which would have made it my first published novel, and it was never published after that. So I went back to it a couple of times, and finally, now that I have Shadow Pop Press, I decided I would do it. Completely rewrote it. It used to have just a single viewpoint, now it's got two, alternates between the boy and the girl character. So it's a much better book than it was. Back the way we came. Oh, hi, Miriam, from India. I'm in a different neighborhood, Harbour Landing, one of our newest developments. Walking through this park that cuts through it. Then I commissioned artwork for it from Dan O'Driscoll, who's an artist in Calgary who's done artwork for several of my books, two of my books that were published originally by Bundoran Press, Right to Know and Falcon's Egg. And I had it all ready to go last October, but then I decided to try it with one more traditional publisher. So it was there for a while. When I heard back from them that they liked it, but they wouldn't fit in with their publishing plans, I decided to go ahead with Shadow Pop Press. So it's already available for pre-order in Kindle on Amazon, and I'm working on getting it out to all the other stores. I do, Kindle, Kobo, Google Play, all of that. basically it'll be available everywhere. I'm setting the release date as July 13th because I also want to have the print-on-demand version ready to go, the print version. And I've already ordered a proof of that, so it's all coming together quickly. And come July 13th, it should be out there. Whether anybody buys it or not, well, one tries to market, and some people are better at that than me. So I'm going to do some more research and see what I can do. Maybe boost the fortunes of this and the upcoming Shapers of Worlds Volume 2 anthology. Original Shapers of Worlds, thanks to that stellar lineup of authors in it from my first year of the podcast, currently sells about it probably averages out to one copy a day. So that brings in about $120 a month from that one book. So, if you got enough books doing that, that would be good. And if you could do even more than that, that would be grand. And some people do, but still working on that. Oh, there's another footbridge up there we can take for excitement's sake, so we'll take that. Getting closer to the shopping area over there. Winners, Home Sense. There's a bunch of big box stores out this way. Big modern one over there. So if you're from Germany that was asking about residential neighborhoods, finds this one. There's a big mix over here. There's apartment buildings, condos, and single family dwellings. That's the shopping area over there, which I'm kind of avoiding. That is a very big modern house there. We're going to go that way. Just to break things up. Natural area. The way this curves, I suspect this was an existing creek out here before they built the development. It doesn't look like something that was dug. Another one of those red-winged blackbirds. You can see it that way as well. And all the flowers. Oh, there's a bee. Don't know if you can see him or not there in the middle. We'll go up this way just to shake things up. I see there's a note, but I can't read it because of the sun. This will take us up by the school over here, where this is taking us. Soccer field. Mix of houses. Trying to read that. Just can't. So whoever it was, hi, I know it's Facebook, I can see that much. I just can't. Have to wait till I get in the shade somewhere. Sometimes the screen seems dimmer than other times, even though I try to turn it up every time before I start. But hello. Interesting play area over here. It's a big new school. I don't actually know its name until we get closer. But that's an interesting play area there. I would have loved that as a kid. And my daughter would have too. And there's an outdoor rink past that, is what that white walled area is. Fairchild Park. Oh, I guess we can go this way through the park. Go behind the school. Or walk closer to it if we go to the right here, I guess. Sure, let's do that. Don't know what that thing is. Looks to be designed for a ball game of some sort. You throw a ball into it and it comes out. I guess it's to practice your basketball, although there is a basketball hoop down there. We'll walk here by the school. Bushes, rose bushes everywhere. Can't see the screen. Here's a bit of shade. It's just really dim today. I think it's not to set it properly. Oh, there we go. Looks beautiful, Ed. Oh, thank you. Not that I had anything to do with it. I mean, I'm just walking. I didn't build any of the stuff. Around the front of the school, maybe we find out what the name of it is. I should know, but I don't. There we go. It's St. Kateri Tekakwitha School. Tekakwitha, that would be probably a First Nations saint. Good, a Catholic. Sorry, I don't know more about it than that. Community entrance. Schools often double as community centers. Also, you can tell by the giant cross that it's a Catholic school. That's another sure sign. Yes, and it's that's what I thought. It's one of the sort of joint buildings where you have a separate school on one end and a public school on the other. So here's the public school side, a cool Harbour Landing school. Not the most exciting name for a school in Harbour Landing, but I guess it does the trick. I wonder if I could turn up my... Yeah, I can't make the screen any brighter. It's at full brightness, and for some reason I just can't read it today. Not enough big trees around. Just out in the sun here everywhere. Aerodrome Road. Again, there's a lot of airplane-related names out here. Go back the way. Yeah, we'll go down this street. Still zigzagging, more or less. At some point I'll have to head back, of course. There's a bit of shade. Can my eyes adjust enough to see? I can't read. I simply can't read it, so if you leave a comment, I probably will not be able to see it. I can't see how long I've been walking either. 20-some minutes. I'll go a bit further and head back. It's all very new housing down here. I'll keep trying to find places I can read. I know there's another comment that I can't see. Try here. And those from Miriam, I think. Wow, beautiful. Oh, okay. It's a lot of effort to get that, but thank you. Again, I take no credit. I'm just walking, pointing the camera. This is Gordon Road, which of course we walked along on the other side of the Louvain, which is to our left. I walked along Gordon on Sunday this week, kind of south of it. Everything connects. It's quite a broad street, but it's not Broad Street. That's a different street. Might as well walk right out to the edge of town out here and get a real unfettered glimpse at the prairie. It's not that far from here. At least there's a crosswalk up here. I like the fact they put the garages in the back in this neighborhood, instead of generally speaking having them a prominent feature of the front of the house, which some of the newer developments do. We'll go across the street one way or the other. This way, I guess, because that's been on for a while. I could probably jaywalk that direction while I'm waiting, though. Looks like it. Just made it. Apartment buildings for my German friend, more modern ones than perhaps the ones I've shown before. These are duplexes over here. or quadruplexes, I guess, maybe. Yeah, I think they're quadruplexes, or maybe even 8. Maybe it's just 2. Don't know. It's a nice bit of balcony up there in the top for whoever has those. Yeah, so at the end of this street, we will be looking straight out at the unadorned, untreed Saskatchewan prairie. More apartments. And then I'll start to work my way back. Devereaux Heights. Again, Harbour Landing, no harbor. Devereaux Heights. Heights, let me think. There are no heights. It's not any higher than the rest of the land around here to speak of. All right, well, you can see ahead of me the edge of town. We're looking due east. No, we're not. We're looking due west. Directions are so complicated. Towards Moose Jaw. Not that you can see it from here. Although you can see Regina from a long way out when you're coming back from Moose Jaw. Kilometers and kilometers. I don't think there's any sidewalk, so I'm going to have to at least come back unless I want to walk along the dirt road. Looks like this is probably being developed next. But, oh, and you may see a truck over there in the distance. That's the Trans-Canada. Just the other side of that ridge. The part that still comes into Regina, there's actually a bypass. Here you go. Whenever I'm rocking in Regina, Regina is a completely artificial environment. So is the prairie. Because, of course, it's one of the most human-altered landscapes in the world, because all the original grassland was dug up, turned into farmland, or almost all of it. Nevertheless, it's flat and treeless. We are looking right down the west edge of Regina, Harbour Landing on the left. We'll walk down the dirt road here for a bit. Oh! Should actually walk on this side. There's a car coming. I don't particularly want to get dusted when he goes by, but all the same, this is a different view, so I'm going to walk along here. Yeah, looks like he's coming straight by me. I watch my footing here. It's a little soft on the shoulder. I like it out here. This is where I grew up. Was outside of Weyburn, in North Weyburn, which was the airport. Oddly enough, here we are close to the airport here. But the school my dad taught in, Western Christian College, was in an old Commonwealth Air Training Command base. Buildings have been converted for school use. And yes, there were trees around the buildings, but basically, though, we were right out in the prairie, and whenever I went riding my bike or out for a hike, it was out into this. I don't know what that building ahead of us is. It has a bigger than a house look. And a parking lot, you know, which typically houses don't. Oh, who's there? Hi, Kelly. Well, yeah, you can see the weather coming from the west from a long way here, so you would see that storm building, and it could be building for hours. In fact, looking that way now, you can see that it's kind of cloudy, and it was sunny when I started, and it's supposed to rain about 4 o'clock. So there are people who don't like the prairie, but prairie people, well, it has its own beauty for sure. And I love the mountains, and I was born in the mountains, but don't really remember it. But it's odd, but in the mountains you can sometimes feel a little claustrophobic if you're a prairie person, because you can't see the horizon, you can't see the weather that's coming. So our nickname is Land of Living Skies. And other than being born in the mountains, I've lived in the prairies all my life. First in northern Texas, which looks pretty much like this, only they grow cotton more than we. And then in Saskatchewan, in Weyburn, and now in Regina. Well, I hadn't really intended to just walk down here, but there's no way through that fence. So I guess there's a road up here if I want to go back in. But I think I'll stay out here. Basically got to get all the way down to the end of the road, the houses on the right. So what the heck is this? It has a number, an address, 10 Campbell Street. It says it's open Monday to Friday. Oh, okay. It's the office building of the rural municipality of Sherwood. Okay, so it's sort of like town hall, only for the rural municipality surrounding Regina, or I don't know the exact borders, but I think basically Regina sits in the RM of Sherwood. RMs are like counties in the States, kind of. I'll just stay out here in the prairie. I like it. Besides, down there, it's just a lot of very similar houses and small trees. Out here, you got the wide open spaces. None of this has been marked for development as far as I can see, you know, surveyor's lines or anything, so. Possibly back there were some spots that looked like they might be going to be developed. But I'd say, for the foreseeable future at least, this will continue to be farmland. Watch out for this car coming. Somebody was walking along here in the mud. I can tell that from the footsteps in the dirt. Oh, well, there's the dust that I could have done without. That would be a farmyard there for sure. The windbreak around it. More traffic along here than I would have thought, but I suppose it is a no stop sign, no street light stretch if you're moving along this side of Harbour Landing. Oh, they're actually going in there. Guess they had a really good reason to drive along here. Not that they went in, they stopped, and now they're backing in. Don't know what that's all about. This is Jim Cairns Boulevard. I think I'll go in here, maybe, just to vary this. Or not. I like it out here. Don't know why that car pulled in, backed in, and now it's just sitting there. It's very weird. Not pointing the camera at it, just in case they take exception. Oh, okay, we'll go in here at Jim Cairns Boulevard. Anyway, that was a good taste of the actual prairie there. We make it back to the parkland. I think that's a house. It must be like a community space for the apartment buildings around here. You know, you can rent to have parties and that sort of thing. Be my guess. Always people walking dogs. I think he must be a dog walker. Probably aren't all his dogs. We've got kind of a nice open area in between those buildings too. Let's go down through here. It's Saturday, so grocery shopping in our future. And tomorrow is Father's Day. We're going out to the West Canada Country Club for a Father's Day brunch. And we're meeting somebody for ice cream. Then I'm doing steaks on the barbecue for dinner. And sometime this weekend I have a podcast to get up. I still haven't done the transcript of the last one. And I don't know if I'm going to. I have my site statistics don't particularly show that anybody is flocking there to read the transcripts. And they're a huge amount of work. Even though they're automated, it still takes quite a bit of time. We'll see. I'll look at the one from the last episode, see if I can edit it in a more less labor-intensive fashion, which I can do if I don't worry about getting every single word exactly right. I don't try to match it against the recording the whole way. But it still takes time even at that lighter level of editing. Figured that car was turning, but he was coming straight. But he didn't hit me. It's so good. It's all good. I can't even remember who this weekend's guest is. I did 3 in a row a few weeks ago, and I already did the first one, who was Christian Cameron, who also writes as Miles Cameron. I haven't done... I don't remember who the next one was after that, off the top of my head. Oh, is this where I think I am? I think this is where I think I am. Okay. So I've been in this building over here, which has a pub on the corner. Our coffee shop, pub/pub. And I did a presentation there to the Regina Flying Club? Who was that? Anyway, about oh, somebody's playing cricket, I think. Yes, definitely cricket. Not baseball, but cricket. Anyway, I did a presentation there about First World War memoirs of my grandfather-in-law, Sampson J. Goodfellow, which I published in 2018, and had a lot of fun. Yeah, cricket. Car's over there ways, sort of on the next block, so I will take Tudor Way here down to the right. Take me back more or less where I was before. I'll go by the cricket game. I interviewed somebody once, or talked to somebody once, who played cricket. Who was that? I think it was a young author that maybe, a young writer that came to me as writer in residence in Regina back when I did it, which was 10 years ago now almost. I think he had written something about cricket and coming here from India and being glad to find people he could play cricket with when everything else was so strange. I think that's, if I'm remembering that right, that's what that was. Snowbirds Crescent, Tudor Way, so definitely Tudor Park is named after the airplane Tudor Jets, which the snowbirds fly. boxes. New developments typically don't get home delivery. I use those mailboxes on the corner somewhere. We still get home delivery where we live. I should turn on down to the south along here somewhere. I never crossed the park I thought I would cross. How'd I misplace that? It's quite big. Oh, I think it's perhaps another block or two. Or I've simply picked a road that doesn't actually intersect it. Curves around it instead. That could be what's going on here. Or it's coming up because I see a blue park sign up there. So maybe I should just not speak until I know where I am. Although if I follow that on some of these walks, I'd never talk because half the time I don't know where I am in a new neighborhood. Ah, yes. Not too much further, or farther. I should say farther. Farther for distance, further for metaphorical distance. Let's walk farther. Let's take this discussion further. That's a very fine, pedantic distinction that I try to adhere to, even though nobody else does. I mean, I've learned it somewhere. I didn't make it up, but I don't think you'll find most people worry about that at any level of writing. Morning. Right, okay, here's the park that I walked through very early on in this process. As I went right across there, and there's the sign that says Tudor Park. And I'll follow it back, even though I'll be retracing my steps a bit, because I think it's more interesting than going on up and walking by the backside of that building up there. See if the birds that were unhappy with my presence, well, I don't know, I am way over. No, I'll go this way to be different. I still got to go a couple of blocks this way to be at the same longitude, I guess, of my and latitude. Need to go about one block that way, latitude-wise, and no, wait a minute, I'm heading east, so this is latitude. Yeah, one block that way, longitude-wise. One block this way, latitude-wise. Oh, hi, Keith. Yes, brand new, well, essentially brand new development. Hasn't been here more than certainly 20 years, and I have the feeling it kind of started even later than that. One of the newest, probably the newest big development with stores and everything. Not that I went by a lot of stores. There's probably newer residential areas now, but not quite as big as this one. I hear loud music. Is it a gym? Must be a gym coming from over there. Definitely a gym. Yep, it's a gym. And my car is just over there. That building just coming into view on the other side of it. And that will be the end of this walk. So we cross Harbour Landing Drive off of Tudor Way. And there's the prairie again, looking towards the airport. Bit of a rise between us and it, so that's not as much prairie as the prairie I was walking along over on the extreme western edge. And there's the car, a white one, straight ahead. Oh, look, they have electric car plug-ins here. Since most of our power comes from coal, that makes them coal-powered cars, but nobody ever likes to think about that. Okay, here's our gas-powered car. And sort of back where I started. So thank you very much for taking a walk with me in Harbour Landing. I'll be back tomorrow, even though it's Father's Day. Might be at an odd time, but at some point I'll be out again. So I'll see you then. Bye for now.